Alright, so the big question it brings up, this show here, is about being human and what does it actually mean to be human to live a normal life? Because I think that's where this show is going. At least I hope so. It's RSMario here, bringing you another anime review. This time for the Netflix exclusive, Netflix original, sorry, Ajin. Alright, so last time I watched this show, it was not made by Netflix. It was made by Polygon. But I don't know, I'm guessing Netflix really likes Polygon because this is the second show that they've actually picked up the American rights to. I don't know if it's just cheap or if they just really like Polygon, but it's a Netflix original, so I was just trolling on Netflix for an anime to watch. Ajin was there. I had never finished the show. I had actually shelved the show. Ajin was there, and it had an English dub, so I was like, okay. And I marathoned the rest of the show last night, literally. But yeah, so Ajin basically follows the story of Kei. He is he's a normal, well, seemingly normal Japanese high school kid until he gets hit by a truck and realizes that he's an Ajin. Now, at least to me, there's a little bit of dispute here because some of the things he says and some of the actions he does kind of makes it look like he knows he's an Ajin, but he's trying to be a person. Specifically, the classroom scene where he seems to get a bit rattled about the prospect of Ajin being quarries or non-human. You know, that is a thing that happens in the show, and it makes me feel like he knows he's an Ajin, or at least kind of knows, at least thinks he does, but he still thinks he's a person. And he's trying to hide the fact he's an Ajin. I'm not quite sure on that at all, but yeah, he gets hit by a truck, and that confirms it. He's an Ajin. He comes back to life. And from that point on, he is going on to basically try to keep himself from being captured by the government and viciously experimented on. So yeah, some shades of, there's a lot of stuff mixed in here. We get shades of District 9, we get shades of Tokyo Ghoul, which is what a lot of people compare the show to. And we also get shades of X-Men in a way. You know, kind of sort of if you really look at it. But yeah, you know, the show is actually pretty interesting. And like all shows, it does have its share of pros and cons. So let's hop on into this. We have the action scenes. Like, the action scenes are freaking slick, man. I love the action scenes in this show. I'm like, the ones that involve the IBMs or the Ajin special ability, and the ones that don't, all these action scenes seem freaking awesome, you know. And I mean, yeah, there's slick. This is some of the best animation in the entire show, which the CG is kind of a downer. But the action scenes are slick. You don't see a drop in the action. You know, and you don't see a drop in the animation in the action scenes. Another pro of the show would definitely be the villain, Saito, aka the Hat. Saito is one of the coolest villains I've seen in a long time. Yes, he is a stereotypical, you know, kind of sociopath villain, but he has some kind of like shades of Magneto thrown in there, you know, because in his, you know, he's taken that Magneto stance when it comes to Ajins and people. He is willing to kill a lot of people in order to make sure that there is a place for Ajin in the world that isn't, you know, a laboratory table. And, you know, at points you kind of root for him, even though he's essentially a terrorist at this point. But he does it so damn cool to be an old guy. I mean, he's just freaking cool, man. Like, the action scenes involving him, some of the best action scenes in the show. And, like, he just goes in and just lays waste to everything. That, and of course, since I've seen this show and dubbed and subbed, at least the first part subbed, the first like 4 or 5 episodes and subbed. One thing that got me was the voice actor for Saito. I don't know, I can't pronounce his name. His name's gonna be up here. But his voice actor, man, you, sir, are the man. Alright, because I looked around for his voice actor. I was trying to find the English voice actor because his voice sounded familiar to me. He sounded like several other people I've heard in other shows. Could not find who he was because everywhere I looked, it only had this guy's name for his voice actor. Everybody else had an English voice actor and a Japanese voice actor. He only had this guy. Only thing I can assume is this guy did both the English and Japanese dubs of the show, which means he has an incredible range because he does not sound Japanese. He does not have an accent at all in this show. So yeah, hats off to you, sir. Another pro of the show would be the characters are kind of unique, specifically Kai himself, the protagonist. This is a unique way to go with a protagonist because usually protagonists have the hero qualities. You know, they're they fight for justice. You know, I mean, some of them might be dicks in the beginning of the show, but eventually they change their heart going through the show. You know, I mean, most main characters are noble. That's not always the case for K. He has his. He's basically in this to make sure that his life is protected and he can live a normal life, which is kind of unique because he doesn't care about the stuff that's going on around him. He's just trying to do what he can to live a normal life. Which brings me to the cons of the show. The cons. Ah, man. So, of course, the elephant in the room as far as cons with this show goes, the CG. Alright, so CGI, I like CGI in anime at times. Now, I'm not a huge fan of entire shows being in CG, which is why I pray, I pray for the new, for the new Berserk. But, and I have not seen Knights of Sidonia, so this will be my first Polygon show. And it's a mixed bag. It's really a mixed bag. Like, there are points where it's sleek and nice, like in the action scenes, and then there are points where it's kind of like, yeah. The gore. The gore in this show. Now, it's not the goriest thing I've ever seen, because I own Elfen Lied. So I know about gore as far as anime, and not to mention Tokyo Ghoul, and there's a lot of things that are gory in this show. And I can take gore. That's not a problem for me. But if you have a problem with gore in this show, that might be an issue. I mean, because it can get a bit gory at points. And if you don't like that might be something that turns you off to the show. But it's not a huge issue. Another con is definitely the characters. Now, I know I said that the characters were, specifically Saito and Kai, as their unique points were a pro, but also a con, specifically for Kai, being the main character. Saito being a sociopath is fine. We have sociopath villains all the time. But a sociopath, or at least borderline sociopath main character, that is different. Kai, as far as the main character, is cold and kind of distant, and literally he kind of cares for things around his life. So the reason why he's doing these things is he's trying to maintain his own life. So he doesn't care if hundreds of people die, as long as what happens over there does not affect him. He doesn't care. That kind of distantness will kind of turn you off to the main character, and that's something you don't want to do in the show. The main character is the hero. If you don't like the hero, then I don't know what to say. Main character, that show's gonna suck. And now weighing all this together, the pros and the cons, I have to give Ajin a C. I wanted to give this a B. If it wasn't for the CGI, this would be a solid B show all the way. So that's about it for this. I hope you like this. Again, the review format is still a kind of like a work and process, so I'm still working on them. They're not the best, but they're getting better. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.